Today, the Queensland Floods Commission handed down its interim report into the state's devastating summer. 35 people died in the floods. In fact, 3 are still missing. Altogether, more than 2 million people were affected. The report's been 6 months in the making and offers more than 100 urgent recommendations for changes needed ahead of the coming summer. The government and its agencies are under fire. Shortly, I'll be speaking to the Queensland Premier, Anna Bligh, but first this report from John Taylor.
The tranquility of the Brisbane River. Not a hint of the raging titan it was at the start of the year. The water level has long dropped, but for many people, there are unanswered questions. Queensland's Flood Commission, a royal commission, today handed over its interim report.
Can I thank you, Judge Holmes? Can I thank your deputies, Jim? We honour those who lost their lives and we honour those who suffered as a result of these disasters by learning the lessons and taking the action required to make improvements in the future.
78% of Queensland was flood affected, an area bigger than France and Germany combined. Even before the floods, Queensland was primed for something bad. 2010 was the wettest year on record and had saturated catchments. When more record rainfall happened in December and January, the consequences were terrible.
You want to take home a bit of the Warrego Highway?
By the 29th of December, Theodore became the first Queensland town in history to be totally evacuated.
Yeah, the town's buggered.
The next day, Condamine became the second.
Remove them, we want them out of there. So that's as simple as that. Protect life at all costs, we will get them out.
Disasters steadily occurred in so many communities, it's hard to name them.
Oh my goodness.
But on the 10th of January, more intense rain fell on Toowoomba and its surrounds. The consequences were catastrophic.
Those next door sheds gone completely.
The Lockyer Valley became a river, and the communities of Postman's Ridge, Murphy's Creek and Grantham were shown no mercy. On the 11th of January, Brisbane and Ipswich experienced their worst flooding in 37 years.
Oh, it's just, it's unbelievable, isn't it? It's just so surreal, it's just incredible. And, yeah.
In the weeks after the Brisbane flood, questions arose as to what extent the deluge was man-made. The city's Wivenhoe Dam became so full, it had to protect itself and release vast amounts of water, accounting for more than half of the flow that swamped the city. But the Commission found that Wivenhoe Dam is at once the most valuable and dangerous piece of public infrastructure in the state, and is at most only capable of mitigating floods, not preventing them. But it's recommended that the Wivenhoe Dam manual should be overhauled to better reduce flood risks and reduce its water storage to 75% in the lead up to summer, if the Bureau of Meteorology predicts a similarly heavy wet season. Lowering the dam height was discussed within government in December, but the Commission found that there was no follow-up, confusion in the bureaucracy, and a lack of action by Water Minister Stephen Robertson, who did nothing to resolve this confusion. Yet the Commission found the ultimate decision is for the Minister.
When the scientists and engineers are unclear about what should be done, real leaders must step forward, and that was the time for the government to show leadership.
But this is a report that focuses on systems and structures and isn't pointing a damning finger of blame at particular people or organisations. For the Police and State Emergency Service, it's recommended better consistency of disaster management across the state, more and better training for OOO operators, more swift water rescue teams and more training. Local councils are also advised to prepare SMS alert templates for a number of scenarios, recognising and implementing the use of social media for providing flood information, and considering introducing warning sirens in small towns. The Bureau of Meteorology also comes in for veiled criticism. It wasn't clear to residents of the Lockyer Valley that they could be killed. The Commission has recommended that the Weather Bureau should make sure any severe weather warning should be obvious to the residents in the area at risk. It's a measure of how sensitive this report is that very few organisations critiqued in its pages were prepared to respond in front of a camera.